Hello, folks. Welcome to the Chris Davis College Football Report Show. I'm your host, Chris Davis. How's your week going? Hope all is well. Um, all is well here at the Davis Ranch. I am a little tired, as we all are, I'm sure. We're halfway through the week, got a couple of more days to go until a big weekend of college football starts all over again as the season starts to dwindle down. Uh, Big news, I guess, is last night's the college football playoff. Ole Miss is in there as of right now. Alabama's in there as of right now. And see, I think Ohio State. Um, let's see, I think even Memphis is in there for right now. And we shall see how it goes uh, as we sort of turn back the page to see what happened last weekend. Uh, there was a lot of upsets. A lot of them I didn't see happening, but they happened. And we all know what happens a lot. It happens, and it happened to Vanderbilt. They went down to Texas and didn't have a pleasant visit as Texas defeated them mighty handily. And Ohio State, we all saw them taking care of Penn State. Ole Miss defeated the Gamecocks from South Carolina. And one of the biggest upsets that started Saturday was, I think it was actually mid-afternoon, was Miami going down to Dallas and the Mustangs taking care of the Hurricanes. And the fan base of the Hurricanes is mighty upset. They thought they were just going to walk on in to ACC and to the playoffs and fight for the national championship. And as a great Seminole once said many times, not so fast, my friend. And Miami might make it back into it, but they're in the world of hurt, and I hate that. But Georgia defeated Florida. Yay. Congratulations, dogs. Georgia Bulldogs, that is. Oklahoma went up to Knoxville and left Tennessee with a W. I really didn't see that happening, but they did, and congratulations to the Boomer Sooners. Mississippi State defeated Arkansas at Arkansas. Arkansas, and this is just get ready for this, Arkansas fans. They had 17 penalties. 8 were personal fouls. They had more personal fouls than Arkansas did. The Mississippi State had penalties. I hate to say this because I got friends that like Arkansas, but Bobby Petrino, that's what he teaches. They're going to live on the edge, and it might have cost them the Razorbacks a game Saturday with so many daggone penalties. They set an Arkansas record for penalties. In fact, 17 penalties. You kidding me? But congratulations to the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Kentucky and You Free Swan Song at Auburn went to Auburn and not only beat Auburn, but got You Freeze axed. And must have been a miserable game to watch, 10-3. Ugh. Hate I missed that, and I'm sure You Freeze hated it even more than I did. But he'll be all right. He'll probably have $1 million or so buyout. So I'm sure he's really struggling with that. And on a super happier note, the Seminoles ran all over Wake Forest. Sam Singleton was running that ball like crazy. Tommy Castellanos had a great game. Deuce Robinson had a great game. Our defense was incredible. Didn't give up any points until late in the ball game. And the team as a whole played as a group. Played as a group very well. Many of the players afterwards, after the game, coming out supporting Coach Norvell. It was really great to hear the crowd. I was afraid that they might booing. We've all seen, off 4-game losing streak with everything you've heard in social media, blah blah blah, and him getting fired. But kudos to the Seminole faithful for, I guess, showing some class and being nice to Coach Norvell, and he rewarded the fans there with a whooping on them Demon Deacons from Wake Forest. Hopefully the Seminoles can prevail this weekend. It ain't going to be easy in Death Valley, but we've done it before. Last time we went there, we whooped them rascals in a heck of a ball game. And we shall see. Now, let's look at the games for this weekend. As I said at the start of the show, the college football playoff teams or whatever, as of right now, were announced last night. Texas A&M, Ohio State, Ole Miss, of course, I mentioned them. And I think Virginia is the only team from the ACC in it. They're very good, very underrated. Florida State found out, and as they defeated us earlier in the season, but it is what it is. Now, for my picks for this weekend's ball games. Starting off first, Southern Cal takes on Northwestern. Southern Cal should have an easy time with Northwestern. I just think they're more talented than Northwestern and should defeat them handily. I think the game's actually Friday night. Tulane takes on Memphis in Memphis. And this has got upset alert written all over it. And I just got a feeling Tulane, they got a good coach, they got a good team, and they're going to go into Memphis. And this is just a game where I think Memphis, this kind of game Memphis loses. You think all's going well, and then they fumble and, mess up the whole season. And I think Tulane's going to get them. It's also Friday night game too. So I will be watching that game. All right. Here's one of the first games Saturday morning at 11 from Stark Vegas. The Bulldogs from Georgia visit Starkville to take on the Bulldogs of Mississippi State in a game of Bulldogs. Should be entertaining. But I'm just afraid the linebackers from Georgia are just going to have a good time feasting on Mississippi State's quarterback who can't move that well, and they're just going to just beat him senseless. And it might be a close ball game. And heck, I mean, who knows if State brings in that freshman quarterback everybody's talking about, it might be a really good game. But I just Georgia's the better ball team, and in the long run, the depth of Georgia will just wear State down. Having said that, State fans, things I believe are going in the right direction in Starkville. Just you got to be patient. You take the good with the bad, and I think in the long run, State's going to be really good next year. Having said that, moving on. Brigham Young University takes on Texas Tech. Texas Tech is quietly just going through the season, just whooping everybody, and nobody's really talking about them. But this will be it's a top 10 matchup between BYU and Texas Tech. And I believe I'm going to go with the Red Raiders from Texas Tech to beat BYU. It's going to be a heck of a game to watch. It's also going to be first thing in the morning, 11 o'clock. So I'll try to keep up with that and Mississippi State, Georgia game. Next game, Indiana, Penn State. Indiana is going to be going to Penn State, and normally that'd be a challenge, any team going to Penn State, but poor old Penn State's had a rough year, worse than Florida State. And it's going to get worse Saturday as Indiana, and they're going to roll into Penn and leave Penn State with a W. They're just a good ball team, number 2 in the nation for a reason. Ole Miss takes on Citadel. Really? Anyway, Ole Miss should be victorious. This shouldn't even be a game. It'll probably be more like a scrimmage, but I mean, whatever. Congratulations, Ole Miss. Give the Citadel and tell them thank you for coming for a whooping. Ohio State versus Purdue. This could be a tricky game for Ohio State. They have lost to Purdue in the past, but that defense Ohio State's got is incredible. But I'm going with Ohio State, and they're just probably going to steamroll over Purdue, the Boilermakers. Miami looks to get back on its feet this weekend as they take on the Orangemen of Syracuse. And Miami should be victorious this weekend. If not, Lord, those people down in Coral Gables will help Mario Cristobal pack and get out of there. But they should get things back together. Poor old Syracuse is missing their good quarterback who's been out a few weeks now, and they sure could use him going down there to Miami, but they ain't going to have him. All right, now here is a heck of a battle. This weekend, it'll be at 2:30 on Saturday as the Texas A&M Aggies take a trip up to Missouri, and Texas A&M is a heck of a ball club. They got a great quarterback. They got a great defense. But this is kind of a game that in the past Texas A&M would lose. A trap game, they'll have everything going well, and then Texas A&M will just lose. And you're like, what in the world happened? And Missouri is playing some really good ball. And much like Texas Tech, nobody's talking about them. Only reason why they're talking about Missouri is because their coach might be going to Florida or somewhere else in the SEC. Or he might be going to Penn State. Having said that, I picked this week for this tough battle between number 19 Missouri and number 3 Texas A&M. The guys from the Show Me State. I got to pick them as my upset. I think the fans from Missouri after this game will be storming the field, and they'll have to pay a $500,000 fine or whatever that ridiculous fine is for storming the field, which is ridiculous. But anyway, Missouri's going to win. That's who I'm going with. Oregon versus Iowa. Oregon will just run over poor old Iowa. Yeah, they might have a good defense, but Iowa ain't got nothing else. In Oregon, with all the speed they got up there, they're just going to run all over them. Oh, boy. Next up, Auburn travels to Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt's going to be mad that quarterback old DJ Pavia, he's going to lead the Commodores to I'm afraid it's going to be a thrashing on them poor old Auburn Tiger, War Eagle, whatever. And it might get ugly. Washington goes to Wisconsin this weekend to take on the Badgers. And those dynamic Huskies from up in the Northwest are going to put a whooping on Wisconsin this weekend. Washington's always good, and they have a good young quarterback, and they're going to defeat Wisconsin this weekend. Mark it down. Virginia takes on Wake Forest. One team we beat, the other one we should have. And poor old Wake Forest, I don't think they got offense. I mean, worth a flip, and Virginia's going to just wear them down and just beat them to death. Virginia's offense is really good, and they will be successful in beating the Demon Deacons this weekend. Louisville, Saturday night, takes on the California Bears. The Bears travel all the way up to Kentucky, and Louisville just going to beat them to death, I'm afraid, and probably won't even be that good of a game. But the next game up is probably going to be a great game. The Bayou Bengals take a visit down to Tuscaloosa to take on the Crimson Tide of Alabama. And I'm going to make a prediction. Alabama beats LSU, who's LSU, by the way, is going through a lot. They fired their coach, Brian Kelly, who they never should have hired. Alex Atkins, former Seminole offensive line coach, who was horrible. He is the offensive coordinator for LSU. That spells trouble right there for LSU. Heck, they might beat them by more than 2 touchdowns. But anyway, either way you go, Alabama will be successful in beating LSU. I'm afraid it won't be that much of a game for my poor old LSU friends, and my Alabama friends are going to be awful happy, though. The Rascals. All right. The last game I'll predict. All right. Florida State travels up to South Carolina to take on them Clemson Tigers. And poor old Clemson ain't as good as they used to be. Poor old Dabo was about to have a heart attack last week. Getting on his defense and getting on the refs and just getting on to everybody except the offense, who put up 500 yards against Duke. But it's to no avail. They lost 46-45 to them pesky Blue Devils from Duke. And my Seminoles, they got their confidence back. It's going to be a night game. It's going to be make it a little bit tougher, I guess, but that's okay. We're going to regroup. Our defense is going to show out like they did against Wake Forest, and they're going to put a hurting on Dabo and his pesky little Tigers from Clemson. It's going to be a close ball game. I'll say 27-21 Florida State. And as my Seminoles march toward trying to get to a bowl game this year. If you agree, disagree, comment, whatever, thank you for everybody who watches my video. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. I hope you have a great weekend. And if you get to go to Starkville or Oxford or wherever, maybe Memphis or even in Tallahassee, have a great time at your ball game. God bless. And as always, go Noles.